Well, as we've been hearing, a group known as the TRT has claimed responsibility. That's the urban wing of the PKK. In a statement, the group said Saturday's attack was a reprisal for Turkey's fight against the PKK in the southeast of the country. The double bombing in Istanbul is the seventh attack claimed by the TRT this year. The US and the EU have designated the group as a terrorist organisation, subjecting it and its supporters to financial sanctions. Well, Ahmed al Burai is a lecturer at Istanbul Aydin University, and he joins me here now. Why did the PKK not just come out and claim responsibility? Why this urban wing, the TRT?
Firstly, we should know that the PKK and the TRT, they're still the same, different names, but still the same. They're both banned, outlawed terrorist organizations carrying out these kind of terrorist attacks. But if you just put yourself in one pot as one organization and one umbrella organization, in that case, you will take all the blame and all the responsibility for any terrorist attack. And that is a kind of playing around to find other outlets inside of the jurisdiction system or the international community. It's not the PKK, it's another organization, the same as Al-Qaeda is doing, trying to rebrand itself with different names, with different organizations, but still the ideology, the mentality, the terrorist attacks, still there, and this doesn't make any difference.
Whatever you call them, they've been lethal in the past year, past 18 months. Why have they been flexing their muscles?
To be honest, it's a kind of putting more pressure on Turkey. Recently, we're watching that Turkey is being exposed to a real economic crisis. Also, it's a kind of more terrorist attacks in the southeastern part of Turkey. Also, the so-called Caliph of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, declared publicly that Turkey is a legitimate target for his agents and affiliates in the region. On the other hand, recently in Syria, 3 soldiers have been killed by allegedly Assad forces, which is not clear so far. So it's a kind of the most tumultuous period in the contemporary history of Turkey, where you find that lots of enemies trying to carry out operations in parallel, in consecutive times, which is very, to be honest, scary to the population here.
Well, you've said the word tumultuous. It has been a tumultuous period for Turkey. Is it just fighting too many enemies on too many fronts?
It is. To be honest, Turkey is doing this, and that is the point that Turkey is very angry with the European Union and the United Nations. That is still, it's a NATO member and still has hopes in the European Union to back Turkey, to support it with its war against terrorism. Turkey is not fighting for the people of Turkey alone. It's fighting because these kind of terrorist attacks could happen and already happened in Paris and other European capitals. And this happened in the United States. What Turkey is trying to do, if you're sincere and honest about dealing with the terrorism issue in the Middle East, let's sit together on one table and try to put all the terrorist organization on the table and try to find real strategic plan to dismantle them, to kind of eradicate them, to kind of work with them effectively. And this is not happening either from the side of the United States or the European Union. If you have just one last word, in Germany, one of the MPs in Turkey has been mistreated, and the PKK affiliates have the freedom, the complete freedom to rally and to do all the protest, which is not a kind of a goodwill gesture to the from the European sides to the Turkish counterparts.
The first responsibility of any government is to protect its citizens. You could say the Turkish government is failing to that extent so far. Will there come a point where the people turn against its leaders?
It's unfair to say that it's failing, because this happened elsewhere.
But not to the same extent?
Yeah, of course, because Turkey is still on the border. It's the most turbulent place in the whole Middle East. If you look at Iraq, Iran, Syria. So it's in the middle of the turmoil, which is a little bit difficult. It's receiving more than 3 million refugees, where if you compare it to Europe, is not receiving that much. So it's unfair from one side. The other side is the nature of the terrorist attacks. It's a kind of a virus, a cells that can infiltrate in the society in a very swift way, that it's not easy for the security forces to deal with effectively, though they still have the responsibility, and they should work harder to prevent any future prospect attacks.
A huge challenge for the authorities. And thank you very much indeed for that fascinating insight.